Everybody does it. It's having sex with an animal. And the guy...
Everybody does it, oh. He was luring him in. He was luring him in.
I may have done that 3 times.
What? Alright, so recently I've been seeing this CIA agent guy. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Unc right here. And he's been going viral on TikTok, bro. Apparently, he used to work for the CIA. All he does is really just talk about his past experiences in the CIA. Every single video I see from him is funny as shit. So we're gonna react a couple of these and let's see what Unc got to talk about.
And there was a woman in this foreign intelligence service who was
the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life.
Like, you want to avert your eyes. Like, she came off the
side of Notre Dame.
She was a stone gargoyle with a giant
mole right here with a giant haircut.
Like, damn, bro, what the?
That kind of ugly. So I asked her just to meet me privately for lunch on Saturday. Don't tell anybody. And she agreed. And I was like, oh my God. She said yes. And I ran back to the office. I was like, she said yes to a lunch on Saturday alone. And my boss says, okay, here's what I want you to do.
I want you to And I said, what? I said,
have you ever seen her? And he said, I know, but we're the good guys.
And you're gonna have
we're the good guys.
And I go, oh,
the American CIA.
Okay, I'll do it.
Nah, bro, Batman couldn't get this to me. I ain't
if they want to kill you, they won't like just do a close-in hit.
They'll blow up the entire city block
where you live.
Why? Innocent civilians dying. Why?
They'll kill 1,000 people.
Just to get you.
And they don't care.
And then they say,
what are you going to do about it? You're going to go to the International Court of Justice?
Do they really do this?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you ever interact with them?
Yes.
And how did you find them to be?
Miserable.
My very first briefing
about?
That I ever gave as a junior analyst was to the Israelis. My boss.
Oh, he's talking about Israel. Wow. Who would have thought it?
Said, okay, he says, you're going to give your first classified liaison briefing. So it's going to be the Israelis, and there are a couple things you should know. I said, okay.
He said, we don't allow the Israelis into the building. Ever.
I said, why not? He said, because they spy on us. Not only do they spy on us, they would always bring gifts. Like, oh, we brought this wonderful gift for you. And every time somebody tries to bring something in, you have to x-ray it. And it's got like listening devices and it's packed with 2 years worth of batteries.
Bro, they were bringing the teddy bears with the Apple tags or the Air tags and the mics and shit, bro. What the hell?
Like, you guys, you have to stop doing this. Every time you come here, you try to bug our conference rooms. It's bad form. You have to stop doing it. And then they're like, oh, okay. We knew you would find it. We're just kidding.
We're just kidding.
So we have to meet them
miles away from headquarters.
If they want to kill...
Nah, bro. Even the CIA is like, oh, man.
And she had a TV on, and one of the towers of the World Trade Center was burning. And I said, what happened on the World Trade Center? And she said, a
plane flew into it.
And I naively said,
you know, that happened once before. In 1932, a flew into the Empire State Building.
But it was really foggy then. It's so crystal clear today. Like, how can you not see that you're flying into the World Trade Center?
Didn't know.
And just as I said those words,
the second plane hit.
And then she turned to me. I was standing behind her. She turned to me and she said,
did you see that?
You know, every single time I think about 9/11, I have to imagine, like, yo, sitting there or being in New York during that time has to be scary. Genuinely, you probably thought the first plane was an accident, bro. And then they seen the second one. They're like, oh, this is planned.
Or did I imagine it? And I ran back to my office and I
said, guys, 2 planes just hit both towers of the World Trade Center. I think we're under attack.
So everybody ran back up to the front office. Now, Kofer's office had TVs mounted above the door, like CNN, MSNBC, Fox, BBC, Russian, Iranian, whatever, Chinese. And they were all starting to switch over to a live feed.
silence.
And I mean, there were, 150, 200 people just standing there staring at the TVs
In silence.
And then finally somebody shouts,
Will somebody please lead?
and then Kofor snapped back into, real life and said,
You, go to the director's office. You, go to security. You, talk to this guy. You.
Finally, a cop came in to the office and said, "We're evacuating headquarters. Everybody get out."
Nobody budged.
Damn.
And then an hour later, he came back and said, "If you don't evacuate,
You'll be arrested. Which
Damn.
they meant.
So, I mean, talk about chaos.
We all evacuated.
I got about halfway home. I lived about 5 or 6 miles from headquarters. I got about halfway, and I just couldn't get any closer to my place. So
I just abandoned my car on the side of the highway.
Wow.
And she had a-
Wow. All right. Yo, when they slow his voice down, it's so... Even if it's not funny what he's talking about, it just makes it funny.
You haven't killed anybody? No, thank God. My children asked me that. And I told them very proudly that I have never taken any action that resulted in the death of another human being.
There's one kind of half exception.
What? Half
I think about
exceptions?
this all the time. In 1993, I guess it was. I was in the morning meeting, and the secretary came in, and she said, "John, General Powell is on the phone for you. Call him Powell." And I said, "General Powell? How does he know who I am?" And she said, "I don't know, but he asked for you by name." My boss is like, "Well, go answer the phone." So I went to my desk and I said, "Good morning, General Powell. This is John Kiriakou." And he says,
John, if the Iraqis were going to kill the president, who would actually be in charge of that operation?
I said, "Kuwait operations are run from the Iraqi Intelligence Service's Basra station, the director of the Iraqi Intelligence Service." He says, "Where does he sit?" I said, "Baghdad." "Where exactly in Baghdad?" I gave him the address. He says, "Thank you," and he hangs up the phone. 8 hours later, we fired
47 cruise missiles.
47?
into Iraqi Service headquarters, and we killed the janitor.
So that's the kind of exception. Yeah, he wouldn't have died if it wasn't for you. Interesting.
So the next day, I said to my boss,
I killed that janitor.
"You haven't killed anybody?" "No."
Damn, the janitor looking outside and seeing 47 sons. The janitor's POV. The janitor just finishing on mopping the floors. Damn.
He's like, "Fuck. What's the coolest piece of spy tech you ever got to use?" You know, there's kind of a dirty little secret about spy tech, and it is that 95% of it
Is purchased from Amazon.com.
Huh?
seriously, because it is cheaper and it is quicker just to go online and buy it and then use it operationally than it is to invent it from scratch. What's the coolest piece of spy tech?
Jeff Bezos reading CIA order. Go get the hummus. Alexa, order hummus. What the fuck?
You haven't killed anybody? No, thank. What's? He's like, "Fuck you. I'm not going to give you the information." So what do? Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put
Cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
What the hell?
Say,
He fucked her.
and she gave him everything that I had asked for, and he wanted to give it to me.
Beastie.
And the guy says, "What was that last one?" And my friend says, "I knew
Oh,
it."
I've seen this shit. Hold on. Let me put y'all on. But first, I gotta see this hummus clip. What the fuck was that?
He was planning something that would dwarf 9/11, right? And you've got to get the information before the bomb goes off. So you say, "Hey, I was beta. Give me the information." He's like, "I'm not gonna give you the information." So what do? Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him?
Do you put hummus up his ass?
But why hummus though? Of all things, why the fuck hummus? Now I understand the Jeff Bezos hummus order. I understand that joke. I was like, get the hummus. What the fuck? Why would you need hummus for the CIA? But yo, what? I was just thinking like, yo, maybe you want a snack or some shit. What the fuck? Why are we putting hummus up the ass? I know that shit gets dry and crinkly after, like, once you don't eat it for a minute. What the fuck? Hummus is good as hell though. I will say that. All right, let me show you this horse clip. Cause I remember J-Mo, he sent me this shit, and I was like, what the fuck?
I was asked by headquarters. I was overseas in the Middle East, and I was asked by headquarters to target one vibe.
Oh, no, he was over here. Yeah, I'm marked down.
So, headquarters says, we want you to pretend that you're gay.
He said one well, and then the gay guy said well, rolled his eyes, stuck his tongue out. He was like, oh yeah. John was like, yeah.
I said, oh, come on, you guys. No, we really need the information. You got to pretend that you're gay.
Oh no!
Do it.
That's the day I quit. I'm gonna be honest. I already know where this is gonna go. You feel me? First, it's just me pretending to be gay. Next thing you know, I'm in this guy's crib, getting bent over, butt oiled up, booty getting spit in, and he giving me back shots. I'm not doing that for the CIA though. I'm not.
I'll do it for Uncle Sam.
You're
So,
crazy.
I call him and I said, hey, I have 2 tickets to this show, and I was hoping maybe you'd be free. Maybe we'll grab some sushi afterwards.
That
He
exists.
said, yeah, I'd love to. So we go to the show. He thoroughly enjoyed it. And we go for sushi afterwards. And then we go out again. And he says, why don't you come over to my place some night and I'll make dinner. I said, great. So I go over to his place. He made a lovely dinner. And then I thought, well, I have to invite him to my place. So I told my wife, you're going to have to, get out.
Wait. Okay, wait. Nah, you're missing information. So y'all just going over to each other's places and y'all not doing any like he's just making you dinner. Y'all hugging and then you going about your way. No, that's not how. Gay men are very straightforward. There's no way he's just gonna hug you and let you go out the way. No, he's slapping your ass, grabbing them cheeks. I know you had to kiss, bro. I know you skipping over that fact because you're not gonna tell this shit. But you for sure, for this to keep on going and for you this to be realistic and believable, you have to be playing into the character.
So she left. I made dinner. I removed all the pictures of us together. And we had just gotten married. So we had our wedding picture up and everything. At the dinner, he leaned in to kiss me. And I instinctively backed off. And he said, oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought you're gay. And I said, oh no, I am gay. I'm not into hairy guys.
You're telling me I ain't do nothing before then. All right, John. I feel like this is the first story John Captain.
And he's like, oh, okay. I said, I'm sorry. I think you're great, but I'm not feeling it.
You didn't kiss him?
No. So we remained friends. And in the end, he gave me the information. I'll give you another example. I've never.
Wife after hearing Get Out. Bro, Def kissed him. Nah, for showskis. I ain't gonna lie. Uncle Sam looking at bro. Yeah, if I was one of his bro's bosses, I would have just told him to do it.
Oh, fancy meeting you here at this coffee shop. I come here all the time, do you? Yeah, he says. Everybody does it. It's having sex with an animal.
And the guy.
Everybody does it, though. He was luring him in.
I may have done that 3 times.
What?
And my friend says, okay, well, like I said, everybody does it. But just so we can get past it for the purpose of the polygraph, in what cases would you have sex with an animal? The guy says, well, sometimes when I have a fight with my wife, to get back at her,
I go to the barn.
And I bugger the horse. 'Cause it's her horse.
he said he gets up on a step stool and he gets the horse.
I just don't understand how people could do that shit. What the fuck?
And he's like, okay, and you've done this more than once? He said,
I may have done it.
3 times.
3 times.
so
Multiply,
he said,
that's
needless
6.
to say, they escorted him out of headquarters and took his badge and said, don't ever come back. Yes. Is there any...
You know something crazy? Because I remember Jameson sent me this shit like a week ago, right? And he was like, yo, even though reality in getting a horse is fucking crazy, right? It's crazy how the CIA has been proven to have had a play into smuggling drugs into the black community. They have also had a play in making sure the food in America is low-key poison for the healthcare companies, and countless other atrocities they've committed, not just to the American people, but into the world. But fucking a horse is where they draw the line. Yeah, you could poison and kill millions of people as an organization, but fucking a horse, you gotta get out of there. You can't be here no more. It's literally crazy as fuck. I'm gonna be honest. We had a whole ass deep conversation about that shit. And it's just like, damn, it's crazy what some people find morally okay and morally wrong. Killing a person ain't that bad, but fucking a horse, yeah, you're the spawn of Satan. I'm like, all right, bro.
I had him. He goes, the guy says, what's that mean? And my friend says,
It's actually, I made it
response from the agency.
3 times.
Hey, you got a response from the agency to your letter. I said, I didn't see any response from the agency. I just checked my mail an hour ago. And he said,
They classified it top secret. It's down in the vault.
I said, top secret. I said, well, what did it say? And he says,
It says go
Fuck yourself. And I was looking at the Pakistanis when I said this.
no shooting.
Of course, they just opened fire.
Yo, there's one clip of him talking about the Marriott Hotel. Yo, I've let me think. Marriott, CIA, Hotel CIA.
When I first arrived in Pakistan, a colleague picked me up at the airport and he said, oh, we put you in the Marriott. And I said, the Marriott? Are you out of your minds?
If they're gonna blow up one place, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be the Marriott. I said, I'm not staying in the Marriott. So I stayed there the first night, and then they moved me into this little 16-room guest house owned by a Pakistani family.
6 weeks later, they blew up the Marriott and killed 156 people.
Told you so, mama.
So I was in this little, with the truck bomb made a crater so deep.
That water was seeping in from the water table.
That's how big
That's
this bomb
crazy.
was. I'm like, you see?
What did I tell you?
Yo, bro's instincts were crazy. Nigga said, I told you so. Carry on top. Born to be committed. Yo, Unc is really good at telling the story. That's his like calling, bro. He is a very good storyteller, bro. It's insane how good he is, bro. All right, let's watch a couple more, man. Fuck it. A couple more of the most popular.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was a spy?
I believe very strongly he was a spy, yes.
And who do you think he was working for?
The Israelis. Confident it was the Israelis.
Why?
Jeffrey Epstein is kind of the stereotypical example that they give you in training for what's called an access agent. This is a different kind of recruit. If you're a foreign intelligence service and you want information, like close-in information from a former president,
It's all alleged, YouTube.
from the CEO of the biggest company in the world, from a member of the British royal family, you're not gonna recruit these guys. You're not gonna recruit Bill Clinton or Bill Gates or Prince Andrew. So you do the next best thing. You recruit somebody who has regular access to them. And that person that you recruit is gonna need to make these people feel comfortable and appreciated. And so you give him plenty of money. So he has this house on an island, or he has the whole island, and maybe you bring in young girls, you get them in compromising positions, just in case you need to use what's called compromat, compromising pictures. We know now that Jeffrey Epstein's house had hidden video cameras in literally every room, including the bathrooms. Why? Why would he care what was going on?
I feel like this is like, I feel like he for sure was a spy.
It was to use that information against people. Only the Israelis and the Russians use extortion as a motivator.
So would they have made Jeffrey Epstein rich
Yeah.
in order to give him that access?
Yes.
How could they have done that?
Oh, that's easy. Governments are the only ones really that can launder money unfettered. And you can also do it through real estate, through fine art, and through horses. Those are the 3 easiest ways to launder money.
Horses.
Presumably, he would have spoken out at some point, no?
No. But it would explain
with it?
why he got a sweetheart
horses
deal
in
in
video.
2006. I mean, this is a guy that's been convicted times, and he gets 6 months of house arrest with an ankle bracelet. We have mandatory minimums in this country. That's a 5-year mandatory minimum, first offense.
He definitely had some interesting power, didn't he?
Alex Acosta, who was the prosecuting attorney at the time, said that he was ordered by the attorney general to give Epstein the sweetheart deal. Well, who's the only person that can order the attorney general to do something?
The president.
It's the president. So was it because
So maybe
Epstein was working on Clinton?
if you had to bet
Nah, for
everything
sure,
you
Steve.
have on
You
either
know that.
him being a spy or not a spy,
Yeah,
what would you bet on?
he was a spy.
For sure he was a spy.
So he pulls out the the Polaroids.
And again, these are like hardcore gay, anal.
And he
What
lays
the
down,
hell?
And he says, is this torture? These men, they're torturing each other. Should they be sent to Guantanamo? And these guys are old, so they're like, they have their trifocals on, and they're like, one of them picks it up and he goes, like this. He goes,
Oh, not good. This haram. Not good.
and the other one, he hands it to the other one.
Oh, no. This not good.
And they just set it down. And they just look at him. Like, damn it.
Nothing's happening.
So he pulls out the
Bro,
Polaroids.
what? This is haram. That shit was funny as shit. I ain't gonna lie.
If they want to kill you, and she had a TV on, and one of the towers of the World Trade Center was burning.
Once you leave the CIA, aren't you always in the CIA?
No. Once you leave the CIA, you're in the CIA for another year. So what happens is you submit your resignation. Your resignation is never accepted. They process you in a leave without pay status, so that if there is an operation that you are uniquely qualified for, or if there's an asset that you recruited that will only talk to you, that gives them the right to call you back in that year, and you have to do the operation. If there is no callback in the year, then they accept your resignation and they implement it.
Okay. The reason I have that question is going back to the Twitter files. There was that Hamilton 68 thing.
Yeah.
For people that are
So
familiar
technically, once you leave, you're still on like a call standby. Like kind of like how doctors are like on standby with like heart surgery or immediate surgeries. They just got to go in. Like fuck sleep, you got to go in.
can you explain what that Hamilton 68 was?
So Hamilton 68 is like so many of these other companies. I mean, how do you even describe a company like this? They're staffed. They're founded by former CIA, FBI, NSA, DNI people to go through the news and to decide what is real and what is fake. And so they'll do things like issue warnings, for example, on alternative news sites, consortium news, for example. They'll say, oh, this is unreliable. It's they publish Russian propaganda. Well, you know what? They actually don't. They were founded by a guy who started with the Los Angeles Times and then spent almost his entire career with the Associated Press. He's the guy that broke the Iran-Contra story.
Okay, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I low-key zoned out.
I was undercover, flying from Milan to an Eastern European country to meet with a very sensitive source. Think of somebody with 4 shiny stars on his shoulder. And not only am I undercover, but I'm under deep cover. So I'm not even traveling as John Kiriakou. I don't think I was even traveling on an American passport. I think it was another passport. And I never talk to people on planes, just as a matter of policy. I try not to draw back then I tried not to draw attention to myself, which might sound funny now. But anyway, I'm sitting next to this
Italian guy.
and he's blah 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 the whole flight, and I'm just saying, oh, that's nice. Okay, trying not to engage the guy. And I'm being rude. I'm like reading a book while he's talking. And he kept pressing me on what it was that I did for a living. And finally I said, in training they taught us to say something so boring that there's no follow-up question. So I said, I'm involved in import-export. And he said, what do you import and export? I said, whatever turns things into money. I don't care what it is. Oh, that sounds kind of mysterious.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like, gang, get the fucking point, bro. Stop trying to talk to you.
So finally I turned to him and I said, look,
I smuggle women and cigarettes from Eastern Europe.
Yo, what?
and he goes, I don't think I approve.
I said, I didn't ask for your fucking approval.
And the guy just sat there like this,
Like petrified.
the entire rest of the flight. And then I got off, went through immigration, never saw him again. I was undercover.
Nah, man. What the fuck? And this nigga funny as shit, bro.
You haven't killed anybody. No, thank God. My children have. I said that I believed Epstein was an Israeli spy. And Dershowitz interrupts me, like attorneys do.
Hey, 20 minutes after the cop warned me about people coming into my room unannounced, these 2 guys just walk in boldly, just walk in. I jump up, I put my fists up, I go,
What do you want?
one of them has a on his neck. It took up his
Oh,
entire
no.
neck. It came up onto his face.
Oh,
the
no.
other one had "fuck you" tattooed on his eyelids. So I go, what do you want?
Some ugly ass tats.
And
Yo, when you get tats like that, you know you never finna get out, bro. Yo, you in prison for life, bro. Because as soon as you get out, like, what the fuck you gonna do? You got on your fucking neck, you got "fuck you" on your tat. Like, yo, you gonna look ugly as shit. You not gonna get no hoes. You get that tattoo, you know you staying in, bro. It's at that point, it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do what I want.
he says, "You the new guy?" I said, "Yeah, so?" And he says,
You a
I
What
said,
the
"No, I'm not."
fuck?
He said, "You were right."
Okay. We gotta cut that one off.
What's the most dangerous country in the world right now? Also a good question. There are several. And I've been to all of them. I never got to go to the nice places. 2 countries with the CIA, and almost all of them were just awful. Some of the most dangerous places in the world are Yemen, Somalia, Gaza, Afghanistan, parts of Pakistan. You have to sleep with one eye open. You just never know how bad things are going to get. And I'll give you an example. I went to Yemen 5 times, and every time I went, it was worse than the previous time.
Well, damn.
The 5th and final time that I went, we were only allowed to stay at one hotel. The hotel had a 30-foot high wall around it to protect it from bomb blasts. You couldn't stay in any of the other hotels by then. Well, the day after I arrived, a group of South Korean diplomats arrived. And on the drive from the airport to the hotel, they were ambushed and they were all killed, 6 of them.
Bro, what? So even like you can't even drive, we say. Damn, Yemen sound like fucking hell.
Damn.
A couple of days later, a group of South Korean intelligence officers arrived to investigate the murder of the 6 diplomats.
And they were killed.
And they were ambushed.
Yep.
Damn.
And they were murdered. And so the South Koreans just closed their embassy and went home. That's
The niggas like, yo, fuck this, I'm out. This shit ain't worth the dying and trauma and shit, bro. Fuck that. Nah, I feel it though. Okay, but yo, that was the CIA guy. If you want me to react to any more shit, let me know. Besides that, Sky, you say, like, we is out.